partner, Alex Rodriguez. All right, Alex. So we've interviewed a lot of important people on this show, some of the literally most famous athletes in the world, billionaires, entrepreneurs. But today, something a little bit different. We've been talking about this for a couple years. I can't believe it's finally happening. Maybe the toughest interviews we've ever done, or at least the most worrisome, are children. Why are we doing this?
That's a great question. I'm not sure whose idea it was, but here we go. We're going to do it. Jason, I'm usually very excited about all our interviews. Today, I'm both excited and nervous, because especially my little one, Ella, you'll see, that's going to be a freshman at North Carolina next year. She is spicy, to say the least.
Yeah. All right. So Natasha and Ella, your two daughters, they are in, as you said, Ella's getting ready to go to college. Natasha is already in college. And then you have my two sons, Will, who's 23, Henry, who's 21. And then the real wild card, Alice, she's 8. And she's got a lot of thoughts, and she's got some questions. She's got a lot of answers. And what's fun about this is I'm going to ask your daughter some questions. You're going to ask my sons and daughter some questions. We don't know the questions that each of us are going to ask. That's the most worrisome part because, by the way, I know my questions for your daughters, and so I can only imagine what you're going to ask my sons. But they're excited too.
Yours are spicy, and this is the part of the game show that I don't love, but here we go. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be great.
So and I have to say, I know it's the case for my boys. They love sports, and Alice. I mean, there's going to be a lot of Knicks talk. I can predict that because they've been laser focused on that. I think your daughters are more theater kids, but you know they obviously grew up in the not just in the shadow, but practically on the fields of Major League Baseball. So they've got some takes on sports as well. I would imagine.
They do, and they have strong opinions, and you'll hear them.
Strong opinions about you. I know that. I know them enough to know that that's true. All right. So coming up, our kids for a special Father's Day edition of The Deal. All right, so Alex, as discussed, this is a very special episode of our show. We've talked to a lot of important people, no more important people in our lives than our children. And so we're going to do our first segment with your daughters, Natasha and Ella. So before I ask them some questions, why don't you introduce them to our audience?
Well, thank you, Jason. Yes, this is very exciting. I'm usually very excited to interview all our guests as we speak about offline. But this one I'm excited and nervous because my daughters can say anything at any point. I'm going to start introducing Natasha Rodriguez. She was raised right here in Miami. She's at the University of Michigan. She's a rising senior next year. She's in musical theater, which they have a great program. And right now she's in Wichita doing a little bit of musical theater. On the other corner, I have Ella Rodriguez, who just graduated high school. She has a great passion around sports management. And she's very excited to start at the University of North Carolina next year, where she'll be a freshman.
Go Tar Heels.
I know. You guys, I mean, you picked two very good sports schools. All right. Nice job introducing them, Alex. You know, although I have to say, girls, I'm going to say this to start. Your dad is pretty cool, calm, and collected, like on the field and on this show. He's the most nervous I've ever seen him on this show, by the way. Like, we've interviewed Magic Johnson. We've interviewed Bill Belichick. Ella, your future coach at your school. Like, no, he's cool as the other side of the pillow. He's like, you know, up to bat at Yankee Stadium, but you know, you two get on, and all of a sudden he's like, So
Jason,
I must
admit, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I wrote to both of them this morning, and I usually write like something like, you know, good morning, gorgeous, or whatever. How'd you sleep? And, you know, what do you have planned in your day? And Natasha wrote back and said, you don't know what we're doing today? I said, yes, besides that. So they've been ready.
Yeah. All right. So, Natasha, I'm going to start with you because your dad mentioned your musical theater and all that you're doing in the theater. It sounds like you're having an awesome summer there between years at Michigan. Go Blue. And so this is a musical theater question. If you had to cast your dad in a musical or to write a musical about it, like what would it be? What's the musical theater interpretation of the Alex Rodriguez story?
Oh, wow. I might have to write that. I don't know if that exists yet. Well, my dad was in a musical in his lifetime. He was in Grease in eighth grade. He played Danny Zuko, and he's told me that he
No.
remembers. Yes, and he right,
Yes.
but he remembers picking up
Oh
a
my
girl,
God.
and that would have been whoever played Sandy. I don't know who she is or where she is right now, and I don't have footage of this. Like I need it, and so if anybody watching this
Yeah.
has footage of Grease at St. Thomas in Miami,
Someone will.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, please
Someone
send
will
it our
have
way. We need it. Um,
I know someone
However-
has footage of that.
um, so I don't think there's a character that encapsulates his personality and his life, but if he had to play a character, I'd probably put him in Hairspray as Corny Collins, who is the
Oh my
host of the
God.
Corny Collins show. And I love
Oh, I
Hairspray. I'm
can
actually going to be in it later this summer. You can see it, right, Ella?
Yeah, I'm going.
Like
Oh,
just-
I thought you
I'm
meant,
saying
I
that
can,
you
yeah, I
can
can
see
see Daddy doing
him
that.
doing it because like he doesn't have
Yeah,
to dance.
see
He
that.
doesn't really have like
It's all personality.
it's all personality. It's kind of like hosting this show. It's like hosting a podcast
Yeah.
or like commentating, which he has experience with. He just like introduces
And it's a lot of confidence too, which we can get on that. A lot of
and
confidence.
he always gets to wear a suit. Daddy loves to wear a suit,
Yeah,
you know? So I think
perfect.
it'd be a perfect role for him.
I agree.
I think this is great. I mean, first of all, this footage is going to come to light. I am confident that someone has a VHS tape. I mean, if those even, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's Betamax, Alex. We're not young men. So, I mean, who knows? So it's not like someone could record it on their phone. But all right, so so the
We
St.
need a little
Thomas
AI,
production
an
of Grace.
AI
Yeah.
Of him playing that character. We need someone to get him to make that.
Right. So now this is the answer to the trivia question. What do Alex Rodriguez and John Travolta have in common? They both play Danny Zuko. All right, that's good.
There you go.
All right, so Ella, I think you were you and your sister were prime architects of this. We have seen via social media that your dad got into some TikTok dances and trends with a lot of encouragement from you guys. Which one do you think he was the best at, and which was he the worst at?
We did them a lot in quarantine because not much to do around the house. So we resorted to TikTok dances. And I'd have to go through his page to see which ones we did. But if I'm being totally honest, I can't really remember him getting any too well. I think what made them fun was kind of just like us doing whatever, and we didn't really stick to the dances. I kind of just told him like, just have fun in the background, like it'll look good.
Wait, I know
but
which one
he
was the
did
best.
do some. Which
You go first. I won't forget.
I'm just remembering that he like ended up meeting like a really famous TikToker, Charlie D'Amelio, and I remember when I watched their video, I was like, wow, like Daddy's actually doing this pretty well, like better than he ever did with us. So I feel like I've watched him do better TikToks than what he's made with us, if that makes sense.
So you guys
What
were
do you
good trainers. You were good teachers. You
Yeah,
sort of like
we
put him
prepped
out into
we
the
prepped
world.
him
Yeah.
well for like the big TikTok world, but like within the house, like I just remember like kind of just goofing around. I can't remember like one that he like nailed. Do you remember one?
Yeah.
I know it's not a dance, but my favorite TikTok that we've done as a family is the one where you get in a group and like you say this line and then everybody hypes you up when you say it, but then like the
Oh my
last
God, that was the
person to
best
say
TikTok.
it, the last
Yeah,
person to
okay, I
say it
can
like
explain
gets
that one.
no hype. And did we ever post it, Ella, or did we just take it for us?
No, this one I can explain. This one my cousin Nick posted because my cousin Nick is a big
Oh.
TikTok star. And and there was like a trend.
Oh, we know.
I'm sure like if you're watching this, you know the trend, but you have to say like just give me my money in like kind of like a funny voice. And we all went around and we like when you say it, you get like a big applause. And then we all planned prior that when my dad does it, like none of us laugh or clap.
Right.
and he came out like really full force, like ready to go, ready for the applause, and like it was just like silence, crickets. I can send you guys the video if you want to put it in here. Y'all give me my money.
Just give me my money.
Yeah.
Just give me my money. King Roddy, give me my money. Oh. Oh my God, you guys made me hurt.
That one was the best one for sure.
Oh my God, this is the most revealing interview we've ever done on this show. This is amazing.
It's a roast. I love it.
You nailed it. You nailed it. That's great. All right. So the next part is actually there are some visual aids required for this. So we're gonna have some things pop onto the screen here. We're gonna show you 3 photos of outfits your dad has worn over the years, and we need you to rank them from worst to best.
Oh, it's loading.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Wait, these are not
Okay.
nearly as bad as I thought they would be. These are kind of good.
Yeah.
Okay, Tashi, hear me out.
Listening.
I'm gonna put like the classic daddy uniform, just suit and tie, number 1.
Okay.
Can you get behind that?
I can get behind that. I'm between suit walking down the street and the call, because that's just like so of the time.
Iconic.
But
So
these
iconic.
this other one is absolutely atrocious.
No.
What is that
one,
outfit?
I don't know what was going on there. I
That's
don't know what
horrible.
era that was. Who dressed?
got dressed in the
who. I
dark.
don't like that at all. No, that's awful.
That's
Like
horrible.
it's like you took the word, like the most contrasting 3 articles of clothing and just like threw them on.
I feel like I'm cyberbullying.
Like that's awful. No, but it's fine. I think I'm gonna go number 1, suit. I'm gonna go number 2, iconic call, and I'm gonna go third, just that atrocious.
Distant
Fit.
third.
Yeah.
Distant
But-
third.
Just the third, yeah.
Now that we've torn him to shreds, I will say I really do love my dad's style. And you know, there are days where I guess we catch him in an off moment, but I can proudly say that is an off moment. Like that, if I saw that person from the back,
Yeah.
Yes.
I would not say it was my dad. But
It's
in
like he's wearing like a cardigan of some sort.
I'm so confused. What's happening? He had a bad day.
Yeah.
It's okay. But
Yeah.
But
like
I do agree with Tashi.
go
That's
ahead.
that's a rare occasion.
It's
That's
a
a
very
rare
rare occurrence, and
He is very
the
stylish.
suit- he's very stylish, and the suit, like how well it fits him is like very true to his brand. And I would say I've seen my dad. I was gonna say more in a suit than anything else, but that's not necessarily true. But like, if he's doing anything for work, even if it's not too formal of an event, he's in a suit, which I admire a lot.
Yes.
And I think
Confirmed.
I think it is it's a cool like character trait of his.
I like
Yeah.
to think I got my sense of fashion from my dad.
Oh, that's nice. All
My
right. So
style.
So the last 2 questions for you guys are each of you say your favorite memory of your dad.
I mean, I have a recent memory, but it's not my favorite of all time. Like we're so blessed. We've had so
A great
many
recent
wonderful
memory
memories.
is perfect.
Well, my 21st birthday was in November, and I was at school, and he came to Detroit just for the day and had lunch with me and gave me a beautiful handwritten card, which is my favorite gift to receive. And I just appreciate that quality time, especially as we've gotten older, is like what we value most. And he's a busy guy, so the fact that he just made that special time to come to me on my birthday was very special.
That's a great one. Ella?
Okay, so again, not my favorite, but I think the most recent one that I can recall. So the first time we visited Chapel Hill, UNC, when I was figuring out if that's where I wanted to go, which I fell in love immediately. But my favorite thing that my dad does when with my sister and with me is that we'll go to the gift shop and he will terrorize that gift shop like there's no tomorrow, buying all the UNC dad, Michigan dad, Tar Heels, like Chapel Bill. Like he was buying all the merch, and he's just always so supportive of, like, because he's a big college fan. You know, he didn't get to have his own college experience. So he's obsessed with college. He's so supportive, and you can tell how happy he is that we picked two like awesome state schools that are so great with sports. And I remember with my sister, even before she got into Michigan, even before I got into UNC, I'm telling you, like, we must have manifested that, because the amount we bought from each gift store, and it was all him. It was all him saying, "Oh my God, this would look so good on you. Can't you see yourself wearing this?" And I just think that's so fun because it gets us really excited. Even if that's not where we ended up, which it was, he got us feeling really hopeful and really optimistic. So I definitely enjoyed that.
Just a cool thing that my dad has instilled in both of us, and Ella kind of just brought it up with like buying all the merch. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but he's always taught us to visualize what we want, and has instilled like the belief in us that we can really do whatever it is we imagine. And then, you know, on the way to school in elementary school when we were both young, he would always, and maybe this is like a memory that we share that we both enjoyed, like we both will never forget these rides to school, where he would just like lay business lessons into us.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, maybe not enjoy, but remember. We would be going to school, you know, him in the front, both of us in the back, and he'd start talking about like investment banking and be like, "This is what you need to know when we're like, you know, like 5 and 8." But
7 a.m. In 6 years old. This is what I'm like.
And then especially like we learned a lot about stocks at that time and what it means to invest, and it sounds crazy, but when you just, he's a very good way of verbalizing things. And I remember pairing like business with imagination, and it's like if you can imagine it, then it can be true, or if you can visualize it, it can be true. And he's very skilled when it comes to passing lessons on, and I think we'll both remember that, even if we didn't enjoy it at the moment.
All right, Alex, last word to you. Any questions for the girls?
Well, I would just say I'm going to answer the question because as they were thinking, I was thinking, and it's impossible to have a dad-girls relationship into one memory, but the one that I think brings it all together for me, because it kind of summarizes my playing days, my growth as a person through my therapy, and also kind of becoming more their friends now / dad, is August 12th in 2016. This is the day that I retired from the New York Yankees. And after the game, like forever, I'll remember the two girls coming across the field. And that like basically summarized 25 years of my work with my two favorite people in the world. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I've seen that picture. It's iconic for sure. It's almost as iconic. It's even more iconic than you in that denim shirt and your tie taking the call. Natasha and Ella, you guys are the best. Thank you so much. I think Alex, I have this sneaking suspicion that we're just going to like spin off shows from our show, and that our kids are just like, we're going to create a podcast network. So, Natasha, great break a leg this summer. So excited for you. And Ella, good luck getting ready for school.
Thank you.
Thanks, girls.
Right,
I love you so much.
Thanks for having us.
I love you.
All right, Alex. So for the next segment, we've got my boys. I've got two segments because we're going to talk to our boys, and then we're going to get a chance to talk to our daughter, Alice. So introducing you to Will and Henry. Will's 23. He's a paralegal in New York. And then Henry is 21, just graduated from University of Rhode Island, and is going to work in communications in New York City later this summer. And these are my guys. I mean, these are my golf buddies. These are my pride and joy. And I'm excited for them to be here for this Father's Day edition.
Well, I love it, Jason. Thank you. You can go on mute now. I'm going to talk to them. No, I'm just kidding. Will and Henry, good to see you guys again. I'll say a couple nice things before I ask you a few questions about your father. So he's been an incredible, incredible partner to me, and I've learned so much from him. He's obviously a great teacher, and he's very patient with me. You need patience. Obviously, probably not so much with you guys. But I've also met your grandpa and your grandma, Jason's father and mom, who I think Jason's mother may be my favorite person in the world. When she speaks with her twang, she's amazing. I just love her to pieces. And of course, I know your mother. So this is going to be fun. So I guess my first question starts with, you have to, I see, Henry, you're rocking the Knicks shirt. What was your favorite moment from this Knicks run?
I mean, it has to be coming back from down 29 in the Garden. I mean, it looked bleak for a while. I almost turned off the TV, but I knew that we were going to be able to come back and pull it off for sure. But just the grit from this team, Jalen Brunson especially, to come back and put the team on his back like that is just incredible. So that's probably my favorite moment from the series.
I will say, Alex, to Henry's credit, we have a text chain. Everybody's got their family text chains. We have a text chain with my two brothers, Win and Sam, and Henry and Will. And Henry was like throughout, like there was a lot of chirping in that text thread, Kelly Boys with a Z, and Henry was standing firm that they were going to come back. So he's got the receipts. Love it. Will?
I knew after we were down 22 in the fourth quarter against Cleveland, there's no way we weren't going to be able to pull this one off too. So gotta always believe.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the easy answer, but it's the only answer is that Game 4 comeback. I was with a bunch of my buddies. I sort of dragged them out to the bar, especially after the Monday loss. Dragged them out to the bar on a Wednesday night. We were there. It was so busy. They go down. They keep going down. They keep going down. And by halftime, the whole bar leaves. A bunch of them try to go. And I'm like, guys, let's just stick it out. Who knows what's going to happen? Like, these guys are clutch. They love it. They're starving. You never know. And we waited it out, and third quarter gets going. They get a little hot. People start coming back into the bar. People start coming back in, and that just builds into these last 30 seconds where the whole place explodes. And then everybody just piles out on the street at midnight on a Wednesday. And, like, cars are honking, fire trucks are coming by, lights blaring, and it feels like nothing I've ever experienced before. And I think that's when everybody knew, like, oh, it's over. They had, like, broken the spine of the Spurs. The team had come together. All those videos that you see on Instagram of Brunson down 29, bringing the team together. Let's just chip away. Let's just chip away. We've been here before. So that game, going on the street after all the videos of, like, that is what makes the Knicks this season such a special team, is them just sticking together and never giving up. And Henry in the chat the whole time. He knew it. Never a doubt.
So, Will, we're going to stay with you here. How would you describe your dad's level of Knicks fandom?
Somewhere between casual and anti. I remember Henry a couple weeks ago. Well, Henry a couple months ago, we were watching a game, and I forget who it was against, but the Knicks were on, and they were playing, and Henry's locked into the game. He's staring right at the TV. My dad's not even watching. And then my brother forces my dad to break down not only the Knicks, not his top team, but they're not even in the top two because of you and the T-Wolves, and then Atlanta, and then I guess somewhere way down there is the Knicks. So that's what I would rank his fandom at.
Oh, I love it. Henry?
But Alex, don't you appreciate that? I think, like, that's legit.
I do.
It's like the Hawks are my hometown team, and then you're my partner, and I root for you, and like I have a vested interest in your success, and so I root for the Wolves. No apologies.
I love it. I
appreciate that, of course, the level of mutual respect between business partners, but come on, we've lived in New York for how long, and we're still rooting for the Hawks, and what are we doing? That's where I stand on it, but teach their
By
own.
the way, Alex, Henry was mad. I mean, he was like legitimately,
Yeah.
like, I think he walked out of the room. Like, he was like, how can you even say that to me?
I love it. I love it. Well, this one, let's start with Henry. Henry, and Jason, you too. Best starting five, in your opinion, of all time?
I mean, that's such a tough question. I'm going to defer to my dad on this one and then come back to me.
All right, Will, you take it.
All right. See, I think I got to go with the game changer, best shooter of all time, Curry at my 1. At my 2, I'm trying to think. I do like his chemistry with Clay. He's sort of fallen off, but I do like the two of them together. But honestly, I want maybe not a real shooting guard, but I like the two of them play style. I'm going to go with Kyrie at 2. 3, I'm going to go Kobe. 4, I'm going to go LeBron. And 5, I'm taking Kareem. That would be my. Those are my 5.
Good one, Will.
Wow. Okay.
Henry, you
Henry,
ready?
do you want to you jump back in?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to go. Yeah, I think my top 5.
By the way, it can be any 5. You don't have to do. You don't have to do
Yeah,
by position. Yeah.
I'd say my top 5. I'm gonna go Brunson. Gotta have LeBron in there. I love Kevin Durant. That's just a silky shooter if I've ever seen one. I think Shaquille O'Neal. This isn't my top 5 all time. These are just players I love to watch, but I'm going to put Shaquille O'Neal just for entertainment factor. And then my 5, I guess we got to have MJ in there if we're talking top 5s. We have to.
All right, do I have to do mine? This
yeah,
is hard. Okay, so I'm going to go with basically my 5 favorite players of all time. And I'm going to say Magic, MJ, Dominique, shout out Atlanta. I'm just doing that purely to troll Henry and Will. I love Steph. And then the 5th, I'm definitely playing to the audience here, to this audience of 3. Got to go Ant. He's the future.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
I like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so now if the 3 of you were the 3 starters for the New York Knicks, I'm going to start with Will. A, what position would you play? And 2, who would be the other 4 and 5 to fill in this Kelly All-Star team?
Ooh, that's a good question. As much as I wish I was Brunson, I think I see myself more as a Hart archetype. Maybe not the height, but that sort of energy is what I really try to go for. That sort of defense, like do anything for the team, dive on the floor, all that kind of stuff. So I see myself as sort of like a Josh Hart archetype character, if I had to.
I love that. And Alex, that actually totally tracks because Will played college lacrosse, as you probably know, and he was ferocious on defense. He was a defensive midfielder, and he could get a little scrappy. And I think in his first ever college game, he clocked somebody who had gone up against one of his boys, and so he's definitely got some Josh Hart in him. Those Nova Knicks, as much as it pains me to say as a Georgetown person, those Nova Knicks, there's a lot to love. I mean, Henry's wearing his Brunson jersey though.
All right, Henry, what's yours? What kind of player would you be? What position? And then give me who would be your 4 and 5.
I'm probably coming in. I'm probably not starting if I'm being honest. I'm probably coming in off the bench when energy.
Alvarado.
Yeah,
Alvarado.
I'd say I would love to be an Alvarado, Shamet, Deuce McBride kind of guy, 6-man off the bench, but coming in hit some huge threes towards the end of the game. And as for players to finish our 4 and 5, we're probably going to need a Cat and a Mitch, just because we don't have a lot of height in the Kelly family, so that could probably help us out in the post a little bit, but we can facilitate down to them.
Okay. Jason?
I mean, God, I mean, listen, I'd love to say I'm OG. I mean, just because I think that's going to go down as one of the most iconic plays in the history. I love the finish. I love sticking with it. I would definitely want to have. I love Cat, and I know Alex, you know him well from the Minnesota days. I just think he was such an incredible glue guy for this team, and I think his willingness to show emotion and authenticity is just really really amazing. And And I love Alvarado. I mean, in part because he landed on our boss's lap, Mike Bloomberg's lap during the game, which was one of the great memes of the entire series. So I'd love that 5.
I think I texted you about Alvarado landing on Mike Bloomberg's lap.
Yes.
And
yes,
you gave a
did.
very funny response to that text.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so we're going to start with you, Henry. With your dad, what is your favorite part about watching sports with your father?
I just think he loves sports so much, but he's emotionally invested in just the right amount. And he's never getting too high or too low about sports, which I think is something that I've really taken from him. And then also just picking up on all the little niche behind the scenes stuff that he's kind of learned about. That just gives it's a really cool angle to watch any sport from, really. So that's what I appreciate about watching sports with him.
Will?
I think for me, it's just how much sports has become a part of our life, watching sports, talking about sports, thinking about sports. It's just all consuming in our family. And that's shown in just that the TV's always on watching sports, and whether that is tennis or golf or the W or the NBA or college football or professional football, every night of the week, my mom's always complaining about it. Every night of the week, there's some sports on that we're watching and dissecting and talking about college and how college feeds into the pros. Somehow the pros is feeding back into college basketball somehow and stuff like that. I think how exactly what Henry's saying, there's this sort of deeper level that my dad's instilled in us that sports is fun to watch, but it's also academically and intellectually stimulating to think about and break down. And we've just had that as a family from such a young age.
And real quick, Will, tell me one quick line that your mom says that shows her frustration with Jason with having too much sports on.
It's Tuesday. How is there more sports to watch?
That's amazing. Henry, do you have one from Mom? That's good.
I mean, it's just sometimes can we at least just mute the game before dinner, please?
I love it. Well, let me just say this, Henry. I got one more for you, both of you. But you haven't learned from your father as far as being balanced. You're rocking the Brunson jersey. You're speaking and your face gets red with passion about the Knicks. That doesn't really describe what your dad, even keel. You're very much passionate, invested, all in with the Knicks.
I guess the Knicks is a little different. Everything else, I try to stay a little even keel. I'm a Jets fan, so you can never really get too high. You can get pretty low with them, but with the Knicks, I'll get red-faced if it means we win a championship. So I'm happy to be this excited about it,
One more on your dad before we go to Alice. What's the thing you admire most about your dad?
I think what I admire most about my dad is this hunger to learn and to learn from people. I've never met somebody or experienced anything with him that he's not learning from, and whether that is learning from other dads about lacrosse when I was younger and he was really trying to get into it, or when we're on the golf course and somebody hits a nice drive, us and especially him trying to figure out, wait, so how to go straight? Mine are always going to the right. And just that sort of curiosity is what's has been so inspiring.
Wow, that
was great. That was great.
Was savage.
By the way, Will, you're also a comedian. Go ahead, Henry. Give us your...
I guess just to piggyback on Will a bit, I think my dad has always been big on us about just trying new things, whether the result's going to be good or bad, and that's been evident in getting a podcast with one of the greatest Yankees of all time and doing different stuff like this, or whether it's going on different business ventures or starting to get really into golf. It's always just being about try new things. You're either going to be good or you're bad. You're going to have fun and you're going to learn from it. And I just really admire that about him, and I appreciate him passing that on to us and on to Alice.
And before I give you the final word, Jason, I can echo and piggyback off what Will and Henry said. Your father has been an incredible partner. What I admire most about him is he's one of the most positive people that you ever want to meet. It doesn't matter if you're the president of the company, the CEO, or you're like my mother growing up as a, blue-collar worker who served tables at night and had 2 jobs, treats everyone the same, always positive. And when you leave, him and his presence, whether it's dinner or conversation or a meeting like this, you always feel better, energized, and like younger, which is pretty awesome. So cool stuff
Well,
there.
you guys are all very nice. Those are very nice things. But no, this has been really fun. Listen, these are my guys, and it's been unbelievable to watch them grow up into men. And Alex, as you said, it's really a remarkable thing when your kids grow into being adults and you can establish these new relationships with them. And whether it's talking about sports, whether it's out on the golf course, whether it's taking trips, dinners, whatever. And, it's amazing to watch them launch into their new worlds. Both graduate from college, and, that's a huge point of pride for Jen, their mom, and myself. And so this was really fun. I'm glad to see you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you for having us. And first of
Yeah,
all,
thanks for having us.
Early Happy Father's Day to both you guys. Or I guess by the time this comes out, just Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, Alex. So this, you had Mariano Rivera as the closer. Today we have Alice Margaret Kelly as our closer, rounding out our special Father's Day episode. So, Alice, how are you doing?
Good.
You had a nice day at school. And are you wearing a Knicks shirt right now?
Yes.
Are you a huge Knicks fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about watching the Knicks. Why were you excited about the Knicks?
Because I wanted them to win, and also I wanted to wear this shirt that me and my mom made.
Oh, yeah. What does it say?
On the front, right here.
Does it say "Go New York, go New York, go"?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And do you like to? I think you learned all the chants in the songs, didn't you?
Yeah, I think.
What's your favorite one?
I think go New York, go New York, go.
And who's your favorite player?
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. Do you ever chant his name?
Yeah.
How does that go again? I forget.
Jalen Brunson.
That's good.
Wow.
All right, so let's talk about you and sports. What is your favorite sport to play?
Basketball.
Yeah? Why?
Because usually after school I play basketball near my house.
Yeah. Who do you play with other kids?
Yeah.
What do you guys play? Do you just like dribble around or do you play games?
Sometimes we like dribble and shoot. Sometimes we play knockout.
Yeah.
Sometimes we play around the world. And sometimes we play horse.
Okay. Do you play any other sports?
Lacrosse, softball.
Why do you like lacrosse?
Because my mom is a coach.
Oh, yeah? Is she a good coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember last year you played a decent amount of baseball. Tell me about that.
Well, I hit a home run a couple of times. I hit one out of the field.
Really? Do you know that Alex hit 696 home runs? Can you believe that?
What?
Yeah. It's true. He played baseball for his job. Did you know that? Yeah. Yeah.
But not all in
believe
one
that?
season. Not all in one season. It was over like almost 25 years. A long time, Alice.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any questions for me or for Alex? Alice?
Does Alex like Pokemon?
Ooh, that's a great question. Yeah, I like Pokemon. It's kind of cool.
I have some Pokemon
Yeah?
cards.
Yeah.
How many?
Huh.
Maybe like 15 or 20.
Oh, wow. It's a nice collection.
Yeah.
I'd like
What
to
are
see
the
them
other
one day.
things
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Do you Alice, do you have any questions for, since this is Father's Day, do you have any questions for Alex about his daughters?
How old are they?
So my daughters, we just spoke to them, and she's a senior at Michigan, University of Michigan, go Blue. And then my little one is 18, and she's a freshman at the University of North Carolina, go different Blue.
I thought
You know
they
who
were
she-
a little younger. So,
You thought they'd be a little younger? Yeah.
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 I had them when
know,
I was
they're-
really young.
They're grown up sort of like your brothers.
except,
What?
except that Henry is almost 22 and Will's 23.
Yeah. Yeah. What have you learned about sports from your brothers?
Well, sometimes Henry plays basketball with me and he teaches some moves.
Oh, Alice, we have not talked about our new favorite sport, which Alex also plays, golf. Tell Alex about playing golf.
I usually like playing at the golf course with my dad and my brothers.
And do you like it?
Yeah, I even have my own golf bag and golf glove.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah, Alice is really getting into golf. And also, what's one of your favorite things to do when we go to the golf course? Drive the cart, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty good at that.
I'm
Yeah,
very
pretty
good at driving.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good. Alex, any questions for Alice?
I do. I have a couple. So I would say, Alice, by the way, you've answered these questions beautifully. You're doing great. I love your T-shirt, and I really like your headphones. I wish we had pink ones like that.
Thanks.
My question is, what is a few of the favorite things about your father that you enjoy the most?
That sometimes he plays with me, and that that sometimes he like cuddles with me while I'm like watching TV on my movie nights.
Ooh. And do you think he's funny?
Yeah.
He's funny. Okay, I would agree with that. And then I would say this. What is like one or two things you love to do most with your dad?
Go to the golf course.
Oh,
Yeah. I know.
And-
That's our new thing, isn't it?
that's so cool. And you like to drive, of course, because you're a great driver.